Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, tier lists, rankings, reviews, re-reviews, thought streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it, and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is for The Wild Robot, which is a 2024 film that I know got a lot of acclaim, a lot of praise. And the person who directed it, he co-directed the original Lilo and Stitch, which, yes, I know there's a live-action remake coming up, because of course there is. But again, the guy who made this co-directed the original Lilo and Stitch, and also helped make How to Train Your Dragon, which that's another movie to have a live-action remake. So I guess eventually there'll be a live-action remake of this fucking film too, if that's the case. They want to take this guy's work and remake all his damn films live-action. But The Wild Robot, I liked it. I thought it was a sweet movie. I thought the heart was in the right place. I liked the animation. The animation had this hand-painted watercolor look to it. The voice cast I thought did well for what they had to do, especially Lupita Nyong'o, which I know she was in A Quiet Place Day One, that prequel, and she's been in other stuff too. Us, she was the star of that film Us by Jordan Peele. She voices this robot that gets jump-started by these animals. Now this robot was in service to serve others. What task can I help you? What task can I fix? Do you need assistance? There's this fun gag earlier on that she'll take like a picture, then she'll give like a sticker for future customers. So she keeps giving stickers to her customers or future, which are these animals. So these animals don't know what it is, so they keep attacking her, they keep screwing her up, they keep messing with her. She's attacked by these raccoons, that's followed up a tree, she's chased by a grizzly, all this other stuff. Until eventually the robot falls onto this nest, wakes up, turns, realizes that Sally, everybody in the nest is dead except for one egg. Looks at the egg, knows there's something inside, needs my assistance, helps it until it gives birth, and it goes on from there. Now, other people in the cast, the voice, you got Pedro Pascal, who I do not like as a person. I have liked him in acting. I liked him in, I think it was The Kingsman 2. I liked him in The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. Again, I think he's a shitty person who wants to call half the country racist because of stupid fucking things. But he voices a fox who at first wants to eat the egg, but then eventually becomes friends, uses the robot because, hey, I did whatever I want. Because the robot will listen to what I want to say, what I want to do. But what happens is, eventually the fox becomes friends with these guys. Ving Rhames, he's not in it a lot, but he's in it a little bit as this falcon that eventually helps this bird that the robot raises to fly. Catherine O'Hara from Home Alone, she's in the film as a possum with a bunch of kids. One of the running jokes is her trying to teach the kids how to play dead. Mark Hamill, he's in it for a little bit as the bear, the voice of the bear. And it's a pretty simple, straightforward story. It's not the most original story. It's about a robot kind of learning a bit about humanity. Well, learning about love and the power of love, and to stand on its own 2 feet, to not just worry about programming, but to think for itself. So there's a little bit of Short Circuit, a little bit of Iron Giant, other movies involving robots. Maybe even a little bit of Wall-E in there. It's based on a novel. I've never read the novel. Granted, I've heard that the novel was a lot darker. I heard that the novel had a bit more violent things in it, and this is more toned down. But I never read the novel. But I do like the animation. I think the animation was very nice to look at. I thought Lupita, she did a really good job voicing the character of the robot. You really get a sense of its programmed innocence and asking these questions. Granted, sometimes it's a bit confused as to, okay, she knows that you can't speak in space, but she doesn't know that a living thing needs food. Because, like, this baby Goose imprints thinking that this robot is its mom. So a bit of imprinting there. And again, like the robot knows certain things. Like again, you can't breathe or talk in space, but doesn't know that this thing needs to eat. So sometimes it's a bit weird like that, but I thought the voice they gave of the baby bird, the baby goose, was sweet, and it was cute, and how is trying to be very friendly and think of it as his mom. It has some nice awe moments that will work with kids and parents alike. It doesn't put a lot of stupid juvenile jokes, like fart jokes, piss jokes, any of that stuff. There's nothing I know that was woke about this either, and try to fit messages in there. So it's pretty straightforward on that. Just telling a story. Some of the line readings were funny. Like the kids of Catherine O'Hara's possum, they walk away and say, "Hey, nice to meet you, new kid. Hope it doesn't die." I thought that was kind of funny. And it kind of shows, okay, this is a new task for this robot to do. A robot always completes his task, as she keeps saying, and tries to get it to eat, tries to get it to swim, and tries to get it to fly. And there's some funny moments, like he shoots the bird up like a cannon, falls back down, is a bit out of it, and this fox pretty much joining at first to get what he wants, which is free shelter, because the robot builds this giant shelter for them, but eventually becomes friends with them. The robot trying to learn about how to think for itself, like doesn't know how to name things, so names the bird 0001, and the others go, "That sucks." But there's moments that's very sweet that will definitely make the kids and other people smile. Like when it's building this hut, this shelter, the little baby bird wants to give it these little twigs. And at first it's like, oh, no, I don't need help. But then eventually lets it. So as it's building, from time to time, it lets this little bird put this little teeny tiny twig on it. I thought that stuff was pretty cute. You know, it's a cute movie. It's a heartfelt movie. It shows a bit of montage of them trying to do certain things. There's a time cut. The bird is much older, trying to learn how to fly, so he could be with the other birds and fly for the winter. Finds out what happened to his family. By this point, the robot has developed feelings of love for this bird. Really wants the bird to find its own way, its own home. Tries to be very supportive. Tries to help as much as the robot can. I keep saying robot, but it's named Roz. Since now its program is kind of done, trying to figure out what to do with itself, activates another robot, and he's told to go back, but it's like, no, I want to make sure this little guy gets to where he needs to go. Eventually, we see it helped along with this Falcon, played by Ving Rhames, to go fly for the winter. the winter is harsher than usual, so the robot helps all these animals, even though they were trying to kill her, trying to mess with her earlier in the film, helps them out, gives them shelter, even has them promise this truce of don't hurt each other. Now, I'm guessing the truce is just for after the winter, although it seems like the truce still stands by the end of the film. Granted, when they're in the hut for this winter, and it doesn't seem like this is just a day or two, because there's like a time lapse where it shows the changing of the season. So it makes it seem as if it's been weeks or maybe months. I don't know. What the fuck did these animals eat? Because there's no food in this hut. Did they go out in the brutal winter and try to find some food or some nuts? Which maybe that would have been nice to see of now that the robots shut down, the animals trying to work together. And maybe there's some tension and not sure about the truce, but then some sneak out to gather food. Some sneak out in the winter to gather some and then come back. When some come back are cold, the others, who are usually predators, warm them up. And you see a bit more of these animals getting to know each other or getting to trust each other, help each other out through the winter. And while there's tensions, easing with the truce, and this is how they get their food, and this is how they spend their time, while this robot is shut down until, I don't know, it's back online again. I just think that would have helped a bit more to understand what the hell they're eating, what are they doing, what are they eating this whole time. Because it does make the way the film looks like they're in this hut for the whole damn winter. It's like, well, what the fuck are they eating? The air, the dirt, eating each other's ass. What are they eating? I don't know. So I was a bit confused by that. And some could say, well, yeah, the truce is like at nighttime they'll do this, but in the morning they do whatever. That's not how they stated in the movie. Again, with the time lapse, it seems as if it's a constant winter storm for a while. Again, not just a day or two, but like consistently, day after day after day. So they're not going out unless they absolutely have to. They're going out in the cold or they're going to die and freeze. They don't make it seem like you're here for the night, then you get the fuck out in the morning, then you come back here in the night, then you get the fuck out the morning. And so they don't make it seem like that. So again, I don't know why I'm honing in on this, but I'm like, well, what the fuck were they eating? Maybe, I don't know if that's explained in the book. If anyone read the book, you'd let me know. Or maybe it's changed in the book, I don't know. Well, then at least another, the bird, who's named Brightbill, there's a point where the birds land. He thinks he sees Roz, but it's the other robots. He saves the other birds, gets them out of there because he's calm under the situation, because he's been around one robot. Gets them to safety, get back home. The winter is done. The animals have a little bit more understanding. They appreciate the robot more because the robot helped save them from this winter. But now the company that built the robot, they come back in, they want the robot back, they send their robots, and it's the animals helping the wild robot save her, protect her, and they're defeating the other robots. I mean, could you say there are things that are cliches? Sure. There's a bit where you think the robot is shut down and the memory is gone, but then by the power of love, the bird says, I love you. Literally, light comes out of the chest of the robot, and the power of love, which you could call it cheesy or cliche, it works for what it needs to be. It's fine. It's heartwarming for people, for families. Like I said, I like the watercolor look. It made it feel and look a bit different compared to other movies. Again, I thought Lupita's voice acting was really solid. The music fit the film well. I don't really have a whole lot of issues. Like there's a little bit of plot point here and there. I'm wondering about, like I already mentioned. But yeah, as it is, yeah, I liked it. I mean, would I ever watch it again? I don't know. Maybe just because again, it makes me think of films like Wall-E and Iron Giant and films that I probably like a bit more than this. I definitely like Wall-E more than this, but I probably just would rewatch those. But this one, like the other animals, they're fine. The Fox character, Pedro Pascal, was kind of a less interesting version of Nick Wilde from Zootopia. I don't know why it reminded me of that, whereas this Fox who's a bit smarmy and a little bit of a con artist. So I did just kept making me think of Zootopia, which I like that movie more. So part of me wonders if you needed the Fox character. Like you could easily write the Fox character out, and I don't think he was that needed in the film. But I mean, it was okay. Catherine O'Hara, I liked her and her little baby possums. Thought they were cute. Ving Rhames, Sally's not in the film a whole lot, but when he's there, it was cool to hear him. I didn't mind this like badger character that kept trying to chew up this tree, which then they need at the very end to tip over to get to this water to ease down this forest fire. If only it was that easy. I'm sure California would be like, man, if it was that easy to get rid of the fire. But it's a movie. So just how thankful that one hit from the tree got all the water out to get all the bits in. There's no other fire anywhere. So thank goodness for that. But again, it's a movie. It's an animated movie. Like I said, there's enough sweetness, enough heart that you'll have a good time. Thankfully, it's not a musical where it's just people out of the blue singing. Again, I don't know how it compares to the novel. Like I said, apparently the novel is more violent or darker. Is it more darker? I don't know. If you read it, feel free to let me know. But as is, I liked it. I thought it was fine. It was a fine animated family film. I liked the design of the robot. Thought the design looked cool. I think it did well because I think it only cost like 70 some million, which is kind of low for this type of animated film, which usually nowadays they're at least double that. So if this only cost 70 million, that's actually pretty commendable. Maybe because of the way it's animated, they were able to save on costs. Which, if that's the case, then it worked out. Because it helped with the budget, and it was a good-looking movie. So there you go. But yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.